I'm so glad you're here. I just finished decorating my home for fall and I would love to take you on a tour. I'm usually touring you around my gardens, but today I'm bringing you inside and showing you how I bring the outdoors in. And if you are coming from my good friend Rachel's at the Ponds Farmhouse, welcome. I love Rachel. She does the coolest DIY. She has the most beautiful home. She's a really good friend of mine. And I'm really glad you're here. So let's go inside. Welcome to my farmhouse kitchen. This is one of the first rooms you see when you enter my home, and it is the hub of my house. I completely renovated this space by myself a few years ago. It's held up beautifully. This is what it looked like before. Can you even believe the difference? I'll link my blogs in the description that describe what I did, but it is truly amazing what a little paint can do. My favorite part of the renovation is this hood vent. Before, it looked almost lifeless, but now you see all the pretty details after refinishing it with gel stain. Because I'm an avid gardener, I love to cut fresh flowers from my gardens and make centerpieces as well as other arrangements for my kitchen. I recently made this one using several varieties of dahlias, zinnias, hydrangeas, anemones, and Solomon seal. Didn't it turn out beautiful? In addition to adding fresh cut flowers, I also tuck in some houseplants and other simple organic fall touches to warm up my farmhouse kitchen. I'm loving them on my kitchen island right now because I see it every time I walk into the kitchen. And I love the bright autumn pinks with these gorgeous vintage seed prints from Antique Farmhouse. This wall was actually blank for so long until I finally found the right piece to add. I'm not big on buying things just to finish a space. To me, I like to take my time to find something that I love versus something that works or is popular in home decor. I am really loving the warm autumn color palette this year and how it pairs with my painted cabinets, which, by the way, these have held up beautifully since refinishing them. New to my kitchen this year is this super simple DIY hydrangea wreath that I made from my garden and repurposing an old grapevine wreath. I'll link the DIY here so you can see how easy this is to make for yourself. And that wraps up my kitchen. Let's head over to the dining room. My dining room is directly to the right when you first enter my home. While we don't use it every day, I do see it all the time, so I enjoy making it look pretty. For the last year, I've been all about this vintage toolbox that I found for $15 in Vermont. Isn't that a great deal? I love to change up the florals seasonally and use primarily faux florals and greens in this room because I prefer a set and forget approach in here. And I use that approach because I have so many places where I want greens and florals, it's just not possible to maintain it all. So for me, I like to strike a balance between faux and real. For this room, unless a plant is directly by one of the windows, it just doesn't get enough light. So I use faux on top of and on my china cabinet and hutch, and add houseplants near the windows where they'll receive enough light. This farmhouse table expands to 108 inches, so it accommodates large gatherings fairly well. When we remodeled our home 15 years ago, this hutch was the first thing I bought. It's so gorgeous, right? I love the contrast of the black china cabinet with my Lenox and florals. It's the perfect piece for this space. that's it for the dining room. Let's head over to the living room. My living room gets so much light, so most of my houseplants reside here when I bring them indoors just before the first frost. They still have a few weeks to go outside, so I tucked in some faux fall foliage and flowers to keep things looking warm and cozy. It's still a little too warm to use our fireplace, but we love it and use it daily when the temps drop. Because this spot can scorch real plants, I keep faux on the mantle. This is one of my favorite spots in the room where I love to cozy up with a good book or write for my blog. It took me several years to figure out how to decorate the top of this armoire, but I finally figured it out. Cozy layering. I also have these dark leather sofas that are super comfortable, but also super dark. To lighten them up, I add lots of throw pillows and blankets. And finally, I love these vintage shutters that are just above my piano, and yes, I painted that piano too. I'll link that DIY blog in the description because I love how it turned out. No regrets. It really lightened up the room. Wait until you see what it looked like before.
And that's it, you guys. I am so happy you guys dropped by. It was a pleasure having you, and I look forward to the holiday tour, which will be obviously closer to the holidays. But we'll be back in the garden next week, and next up on the YouTube blog hop is my good friend Jen from Cottage on Bunker Hill. If you are not familiar with her, you will love her. She too does amazing DIYs. Both Rachel and and Jennifer do great, awesome DIYs, and I love both of them. They're good friends of mine. So anyway, with that, I'll see you in the next video. I'm Stacy from Bricks and Blooms. Enjoy a beautiful day.